of the late MCA has already arrived here in Kenya. We just wait to see whether post-mortem will be done, because it was not done in India based on the legal procedure that is required. Now, away from that, and gender-based violence is a complex and pervasive problem that violates human rights. In 2019, President Uhuru Kenyatta pledged that Kenya will eliminate gender-based violence and child marriages by 2030. It is for this reason that a host of legal practitioners held a sensitization meeting to enforce these laws. George Maringa now joins us live with that story.
Kenya has robust laws and policies that seek to answer and prevent sexual and gender-based violence, and is also signatory to international and regional frameworks to end GBV. Furthermore, counties such as Meru County have established their first policies to end sexual and gender-based violence. However, the statistics of these issues continue to be high, and it is for this reason that magistrates and other law practitioners converged in Samburu County for a forum to sensitize them on how to implement these laws.
MTP3, which runs from 2018 to 2022. And it discusses, among other things, the protection and promotion of respect for rights of victims of gender-based violence. So we just want to bring all the actors together, the judicial actors, all those working in the courts, so that we can, together with one voice, push this agenda. Recently, the government or the president came up with a zero-tolerance policy for issues of GBV, and especially hinting on FGM in Meru County. And that's one thing that we have taken up seriously and want to push that agenda, ensuring that by 2023, we don't have any issues of gender-based violence. In terms of convictions, after the passage of the Protection Against Domestic Violence Act, we've experienced a good relationship with the courts. Most of the protection orders that we go for have been granted, and they see it is necessary because it prevents perpetrators from actually harming those applicants. So it's been one area that we can say we are very successful. And so far, we haven't had issues with the court in terms of not getting those reliefs from the court. From where we work, Ripples International, this year alone, we have taken about 4 protective orders. We are in February, and between January and this time, 4 orders have already been granted. So far, most of the complainants have been women, but it doesn't mean that the men are out of the picture. The men are also facing forms of violence, especially the psychological forms of violence. Men like to keep everything in there. But we are encouraging them to come out and then speak about these forms of violence. And we have noted that most of the men are committing suicide because most of them keep these forms of violence inside and they wouldn't want to discuss it. And the only exit route is usually the bad route, which is suicide. But we are encouraging everyone else, especially the men, to come out and discuss these issues get a partner, talk to someone, get help, and with the passage of the Protection Against Domestic Violence Act, it's not just for women alone, but also for men and children. So in cases of non-maintenance of children, custody, issues of paternity, you can always have protection orders. If there are issues of assault in the family, defilement, whatever, you can just go to the court for some of these protection orders which are readily available. What we are proposing now is that the templates that are used in procuring these protection orders are the ones that are very, the court process itself is very expensive, and that has been the main deterrent for victims of or survivors of gender-based violence?
Okay, so far most of the issues that are happening based on the gender violence are where it's a domestic relation. That is the wife and the husband. They have issues between themselves. Some of it is physical, economic abuse, and this is where they're coming, and they want now the court to assist them. And nowadays they are relying on the Protection Against Domestic Violence Act, that is 2015. And as per the act, they are allowed to seek for protection orders from the court. So we go to court seeking actually to have a protection order. This person should be declared a protected person. Then they can go forward with seeking the protection orders from the court. Some of these protection orders include the restraining the respondent from accessing the applicant. Further, they go even further where they give exclusive occupation orders, where the applicant is given, let's say, a right to a matrimonial house exclusively without the respondent being present.
Gender-based violence remains an area of significant concern, albeit with a handful of promising interventions. With the interventions of the judiciary and other players, it remains to be seen whether these policies will be put in place. In fact, as some of the members of society say that they are seeing fruits of it, while others say that nothing is being done. My name is George Maringa, handing back to you in studio.